Hello. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about this really cool little robot called Marty the robot, created by a company called Robotical. And I'll be talking about how to program this, some of my experiences with it, and the resources that they also provide for educators to go along with it. Now, I have not yet dressed up my Marty, but it actually comes with this sticker pack, not just one, but actually multiple pages of stickers here so that you can customize the look of your Marty and have a little bit of fun with it. So quickly, I'll just share what comes in the box. You obviously get the robot and the stickers. There's also a little screwdriver with some screws. There are some additional sensor kits that you can purchase too. There are some ways that you can re-screw in things to make it do some more advanced things. Not necessary though. There's a quick start guide right here. There are some colored cards. I'm going to talk more about this because there is actually an aspect of Marty that allows you to program offline completely using just these cards. So these cards, when you put it on top, says like forwards, they have backwards, left, right, and a dancing movement too. And then the USB charging right here. So that's what comes in the box. You can program Marty on your phone, on a tablet, and also on the web. And there are multiple different options for it's geared towards K through 8. I would say that you could even use it in some high school level classes. I taught Scratch programming to 9th and 10th graders, and I could see using something like this for sure there. So I don't think it's limited to just K through 8, but I think it's wonderful that it can be used all the way down to grades K, again, with some of the things like just these cards. And I actually have some real experience because I was able to play with Marty with my nieces this summer, and my youngest niece just turned 5 and she was able to play with Marty too. So let me start off by just sharing some of that personal experience. My older niece had some experience using Scratch, so she was able to do some of that without too much trouble. But with my youngest niece, we really just stuck to using what's called the controller or sequencer. The controller is very much like a remote where you just tell it to move forwards, move backwards. But I thought the sequencer was the cooler thing because I thought that really allowed me to teach her some of the basics of programming. And also you can set up like little obstacle courses, which we did that too. You can set up an obstacle course in your classroom for Marty to navigate and then use both the controller and the sequencer to have students try to take Marty through that obstacle course and show them the process of trial and error that has to happen with these things. So the sequencer is cool because again, you load up the sequencer with everything that you want Marty to do. You can put in up to 15 different commands there. And then when you press play, Marty will execute that. So again, if you've set up something like an obstacle course, or one of their favorite things to do was to take out the ball and to set up a little challenge where you place the ball somewhere and then get Marty in position to actually kick that ball. So I think this is just a really nice way to introduce that idea of the robot executing the sequence as you've set it up. Now, to go even a bit more to basics, let me show off what's called the Unplugged Mode, which is where you place Marty on these colored squares that come with it. So here you can see it says that this moves it forwards, and then this yellow would move it backwards. And so I'm going to run a little program so you can see how this actually works. Again, you can kind of lay these cards out in a sequence to have Marty perform some actions. You'll see in my clip that my cards are moving around a little bit. So you might want to tape them down or maybe have students hold them down while Marty is executing the code, because that was the only thing that you'll see in my recording, that these cards do slide around. Them on hardwood floor, but for the youngest learners, absolutely fantastic. Now, I want to dive into the programming that you can do with Marty. I'm going to start off by showing you what you can do with Marty Blocks Junior. Here, I'm just going to be showing how students can actually program this on just their tablet or on the web, and it doesn't need to be necessarily connected to Marty to begin running it to see what it looks like. So this can be great if you don't have a class set of Martys, but it also does interact with your Marty. So know that what I'm showing right here, I'm just showing the web-based version of it, but Marty would execute all of these actions as well. This is a great way first to get students to run their program, test their program in this virtual emulator, and then they can actually run it on Marty. So first thing you'll see, I'm just going to do a little customization design of my Marty, so you can do that, why not? And then I'm going to actually pick a scene here. So I'm going to choose to use this road as kind of obstacle course that I want Marty to navigate through. So here you'll see that, I'm just making a sequence of steps here. I'm using 2 different types of looping for that moving forward. I'm looping it 4 times, and then I'm just doing like the down motion. I am telling it to do 3 of those. It'll be a great conversation about when you might want to use the loop, maybe for a sequence of things versus when you just want to repeat something a couple of times. And also here you can see that I need to do some trial and error to be able to properly execute this code and stay on the road. Now, I'm not going to take you through all of what you can do in Marty Blocks, but I'm going to just show you Marty executing a little bit of code that I did. Watching that, a fraction of the amount I enjoyed programming it. Anyway, lastly, I want to just take you through the learning portal to show you the lessons that are pre-made and available. Here is a quick look at the learning portal, which is full of lessons, lesson packs, and activities. And all of this is actually sortable by which environment you want to do it in. So for example, the Scratch-based blocks versus the Scratch Junior-based blocks for more elementary. You can also do Unplugged, which is with the color cards, and even some Python coding. Now, let me just show you one of these because I want to show you how complete they are. So let's just look at this lesson plan with an introduction to Marty Junior blocks, which is just like Scratch Junior, of course. This is a digital lesson. You'll see here that you have a lot of different learner resources that you can download. If you open the digital lesson, you will have not only the lesson plan right here, but the warm-up will include a video and some screenshots. And so everything that you need to prompt discussion, have a conversation. Of course, you can set this up in your own classroom as well, but you have so many videos that are embedded here, which I find really helpful. And then, it will model certain things. So you can either learn from it and demo it yourself, or just show this on the board potentially so that you can have a discussion about some of these things. It even has a cool down activity, some extensions, and additional support materials. It has a workbook that you can download for students, and I really like that there is story text for many of these lessons so that you can tell a story around whatever you're teaching, and it gives you an idea of that. Now, there's a presentation also that is downloadable PowerPoint, or the teacher guide, which just gives you some additional prompts and questions to support whatever lesson you're going to be giving. So it's just a really complete lesson. If I go back to the main learning portal, let's go ahead and just look into one of these other lessons. This one would be a little bit more advanced, getting specific with logic blocks. And you'll see it's that same type of thing here where there's a warm up, there's the get learning, again, with a little video. There's more videos that you can show with examples of different scenarios. So again, it just gives you demonstration material right there. It gives you a plan for what you will have students practice. And then additionally, those cool down questions, which are so important to carry out the discussion with students. There's extensions here too. And then there's even some games, some solutions that are there as your educator resources. And then again, a workbook that you can give and provide for students. And then there's a whole bunch of activities in here too. Let's explore more. And these are, of course, more of an assignment that you would give students, but it gives you some introductory material to explain to students how to get started. It gives you all the resources that you would need here. And this could help you make up your lesson plan. It is something you could probably just use directly with students, or you can customize it to whatever your needs are. But you can see that it's a very detailed lesson plan with screenshots in here, questions that you might pose to students, or that you could have students kind of self-pace through and prompting them to be curious and asking questions. And then there's some challenge at the end to extend the lesson even further. And you can see here like the what's next, make the game more challenging by maybe trying this, customize the game, and so forth. So there's just so much in here. And I would say these lesson plans really do go from K to, they advertise it as K to 8. I could see it even working in a high school classroom. I've taught introduction to programming in high school, and I could see using some of these things for sure. And then in the topics, they have integrated into different cross-curricular topics. So, you have some math ideas, you have some even creative writing ideas in here, some more science type things. And then if you are looking by level, you can go to the challenge and do advanced, beginner, or intermediate to choose from. And that's just a little introduction to what's available here in this learning portal. All right, so those were the different components that come with Marty. The Marty blocks, the Marty blocks Junior, the unplugged mode, and the controller sequencer. And I'm super impressed by how cute Marty is, how cute the movements are. It really feels like a little dance party going off. And the simplicity all the way up to the more complex and advanced things that you can do with Marty. I didn't even get into all the advanced features at all, but I hope this little preview was helpful. You can explore the resources for yourself on the website if you go to the Robotical website, and I will leave the URL in the description box so you can just click on that with ease. And that's going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you soon. Bye.